Welcome YouTube, welcome Facebook, welcome everybody to the first episode of Cooking with Malcolm. So, as have been requested by many people, I've decided to go ahead and start a cooking series and kind of show everybody the recipes that I choose to make up, ideas that I get by watching other YouTube videos, fellow cooks, Food Network, probably too much TV. However, it allows me to show you guys what we have an opportunity to make each and every day. Continue to eat healthy, eat something that tastes good. So I'm gonna call this Healthy Southern Cooking. What we're gonna be doing in today's episode, we're gonna do a Southern cooked cauliflower rice with roasted Brussels sprouts that I'm actually gonna do in the air fryer. If you can see that back there, you'll see it a little closer here shortly. But it's a quick, easy meal that you can prepare for you and your family. It tastes great. There's no meat. I decided to do this no meat series now that I'm doing this Daniel fast. If you don't know about the Daniel fast, check it out, look it up online, go to Google. Daniel fast, it's fantastic. It's good for the body. It's a good way to reset yourself, I guess, for the first part of the year and really kind of get your body to where it needs to be to move you forward for the rest of the year. So anyway, with this cauliflower rice and these roasted Brussels sprouts, there's a couple of recipes and items that you're gonna need. So I'm gonna run through it real quick. You're basically gonna need Brussels sprouts, which we've got right here. You're gonna need 4 cups of riced cauliflower. I'm gonna suggest buying the riced cauliflower in advance. Tom Thumb, a lot of grocery stores, Safeway, wherever you're at in the country does a really good job of doing this. So, or you can just get a Ninja blender, cut up a cauliflower, throw it in there, pulse it. You're gonna get your own riced cauliflower. Either way, this is the result of what you want right here. We're gonna just do pre-cooked vegetables, which is the easiest way to do it. I'm gonna do everything here with some stuff that's kind of already been done. I suggest buying it where it's already cut or cooked, so that way your preparation time is cut in half. Last thing you wanna do is be in here trying to peel some fresh vegetables. If that's your thing, do it. But I'm gonna give you any time in this series ways to do it quick, fast, and be able to feed your family or yourself on a busy weeknight or weekend when you just wanna have something that's savory, but also gonna give you complete sustenance. I used a big word right there. I'm educated. You're gonna have 3 cups of onions. You're gonna have scallions. I've got 3 eggs that I've beat up right here, which is actually gonna go in the cauliflower rice. And then I've got some seasonings. The recipe is located below the video. So I would say if you take a look at the recipe, you'll get everything you need there. However, we're gonna get started. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the actual Brussels sprouts, okay? So, I'm gonna show you how these Brussels sprouts are made. It's pretty easy. So you can see here, I already had Brussels sprouts that I cut up. I quartered them. They were pretty big. I'd say go ahead and quarter them, make it easy, okay? What you're gonna need is basically about, I'm gonna say, probably an entire cup to a cup and a half of olive oil. I use an olive oil that's mixed with canola oil because it's got a higher smoke point. So it's actually gonna cook a little better in the air fryer. Ends up being much better for you. You're also gonna need what I suggest. I've cut back a salt because it's healthier, but what I like to use for the good Cajun Louisiana person in me is the Tony Chachere's salt-free seasoning. That's pretty good. I think with this, you're gonna get better flavor, but it still kind of gives you the taste of salt, which we all actually like. We all wanna give it up, but we know it's like crack, you can't. So I'm gonna use that and get a little more flavor built into it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start pouring the olive oil into the Brussels. Okay, here's what the thing you wanna do. You wanna make sure you get them completely coated, because the thing about an air fryer is that if you don't, it's gonna be dry. I mean, you have to think, you're frying something, but you're not using oil. And you really wanna try to get as much of the flavor into it as you can. So try to do what you can to get it completely lubed up. Don't get any ideas behind that comment. I'm just gonna say that. I'm a child of God, so I'm not gonna go there right now. Y'all can think what you want. Praise Jesus. Anyway, go ahead and get this mixed up, okay? Get the Brussels sprouts completely coated, just like this. I would get closer with the camera on this particular section, but I have a feeling y'all know exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna assume you know and you educated. I'm just gonna assume you know and you educated. Yeah, I repeated that because I don't think you need to see what's going on here. Okay, basically with this, it's gonna be 2 tablespoons of the salt-free Tony Chachere's. That little guy is good. So, ooh, that stuff's strong. You're gonna sneeze. And you also want to use a you want to use a tablespoon of black pepper too, and get it seasoned up really well. Okay. So, get that all mixed up. Woo, I got my nose, child. Get it all mixed up and good. Now, for those of us from the South, us Creole folks, and when I say from the South, what that means is that does not mean Texas. Texas is the South. Atlanta is the South. Hey, shout out to my Atlanta folks. But Louisiana. For me, Louisiana is the true South. That's just me. There is nothing like Creole cooking. You never hear anybody going to New Orleans and saying the food in New Orleans is nasty, because we all know how to cook. So, needless to say, being from South Texas, most of the times being to Louisiana, most of us know how to cook. And if the people don't know how to cook, they usually marry somebody that knows how to cook. That's fact. I'm just gonna say that. So, get this all mixed up. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna go ahead and get these put on these trays. These are the trays. So what I'm using is the Power Air Fryer Oven XL. It's fantastic. I highly suggest it. This is not a paid endorsement, but Power Air Fryer Oven people, if y'all wanna pay me, I'm good with that. Because y'all product is a bomb. It's really good. It kind of does everything that you need to do when you wanna fry something healthy. So here's what I'm gonna do. Go ahead and get these put on to the trays and kind of spread out. You want them to have some breathing air so they can kind of get the air around them, because you're gonna be looking at about 15 minutes of cook time on this. So make sure that there's space for all of the air in the oven, because think about what I said, it's an air fryer oven. That's how an air fryer oven works, okay? So as you can see, I've got the Brussels sprouts completely laid out on top of the racks that are gonna go into the air fryer oven. I'm gonna show you what that looks like here. You wanna make sure you get as much seasoning as you can on those. You wanna make sure that you try to build as much flavor, because the air fryer is gonna kind of cook that up and get them nice roasted. So we got the Power Air Fryer and Oven XL here. I'm gonna get that open and get those Brussels sprouts that we just seasoned up loaded in there. We're gonna get the first tray in. That's one. Okay. Oh, she in the wrong way. Let me flip her around. Come on, girl. Work with me here. That's the first one. We're gonna get the next one in there. And when I tell y'all that this is good, this is slap your mama good. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, I would not suggest slapping your mama, because for us Southern folks, y'all know mamas, good Southern mama slap you back. Child, she slap your throat into the back of your neck. I ain't trying to have that. And the last one. I'm gonna get the last one put on the top so these can breathe. But as you can see here, we got them completely loaded. I'm gonna close this girl up. And what you wanna do when you do this, I'm gonna suggest you go ahead and I'm gonna flip this up a little higher. 15 minutes. Now with the Power Air Fryer XL, you got an opportunity to kind of do fruits, vegetables, stuff like this. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say that we are cooking chicken. Actually, probably not. Fries, 400. We're gonna take this down to, we're gonna run it about 15 minutes, check it, come back, make sure it's good. And there you go. She starts right up. She is fabulous. So in this cauliflower rice recipe, what we've got is we're gonna get this going. So what I suggest is getting you a nice wok. As you can see, mine has been used. She has a fair amount of wear. So I would suggest getting you one that's really good like this that you've used, or just getting a large one. You just wanna have a nice wok, nice cooking surface. We're gonna get this going at medium high. And what we're gonna put in here, we basically want to use essentially about 1/2 a cup, because it calls for actually 2 cups, but right now we're just gonna use, actually it calls for 1 cup, but we're gonna use 1/2 a cup of sesame oil right now, because we wanna get essentially this sesame oil going and get it to kind of a smoke point so we can get our vegetables in here. We're gonna start with our onions. onions put in there. That's what you want. You want that sizzle, baby. We're gonna get these onions put in here. Get them all in. And what you want to do is, here's a little secret for people that cook. You want to go ahead and put some seasoning onto the onions when you first start cooking them, because then you get your flavor kind of baked in. So what I'm putting in here is about a tablespoon of Lowry seasoned salt and some black pepper. My pepper game is strong. As you can see, I use a lot of pepper. That's why I'm coughing, because that pepper cooking up in my nose. But we're gonna get these onions in here. And we want to get these onions sweated. We want to cook them down. You don't want to have them raw. Nobody likes raw onions, especially considering we're doing almost like a southern style cooked cauliflower rice. I mean, the idea of it is, when you say southern style, is bringing flavor profiles, and you want to have flavor in the food when you cook it, because when you're cooking without meat, you have to make up, for people that eat meat, you have to make up that taste somewhere else. That's either making it up in the seasonings, it's either making it up in the ingredients that you're using, it's either making it up with the oils that you choose to use. There's so many different characteristics of flavors. You just want to make sure you get as much flavor in it as you can. You get good, you can flip it like that. Don't do that if you don't. Do not try this at home for everybody. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because if y'all burn y'all house down, I'm not taking responsibility for that. Nope, nope. Y'all gonna call me and be like, I went to flip those onions and they caught on fire and my house and my kitchen burnt down. And I'm gonna hang up the phone and swear to God, I don't know who it is. I don't know who you are. Because I probably won't know who you are. Because you burnt your house down, but you calling me because you tried to do this cooking demonstration. Nope, no ma'am. Not today, Satan. Anyway, this is good and cooked up. Let's get one more flip on this. Get them cooked down just a little bit. What we're gonna do at this point right now, we're gonna add our vegetables, okay? And we're adding in about 3 cups of fresh vegetables. It's gonna be, we've got in this, because you want to have a crunch, you want to have something gives you some type of fried rice, normal fried rice. We all know, we all have that favorite Chinese or Asian restaurant that we go to, and they got a fried rice that is just absolutely mind-blowing. What we're going to do is we're going to put that other tablespoon of seasoning salt in here. What we're going to add now is we're going to add about a teaspoon of garlic powder and a dash of black pepper. It's almost time here because these are cooked. This is going to cook for about 1 minute. I would say cook it for about 1 minute because these vegetables, I already steamed them. So they've already kind of cooked, so you don't have to cook them long. You just want to cook them to get them infused with some of this flavor profile from the onions. If you don't like onions, I would say substitute it with green peppers, bell peppers, red peppers. Maybe you want to use some sweet peppers to kind of give you some onion consistency. Or just use whatever you normally cook with. I think that's the thing about cooking and recipes. You get so many chefs and people on YouTube and on Food Network and cooking shows that tell you, you know, this is how you need to do this and blah, blah, blah. Cooking is about what you want it to be. You know, you decide you don't like vegetables and you don't want them in here, don't put them in here. If you decide you want mushrooms, I'm allergic to mushrooms, so I don't eat that mess, put mushrooms in here. Just cook till your heart is content for what you need and want. All right, folks, we're gonna add the 4 cups of cauliflower rice. Where that's going? Where's the dog? That bounced on the floor. All right, got that going. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get this nice, and I'll tell you this with this cauliflower rice, this mess pops all over the place once you start cooking. Until you can get this kind of incorporated into this oil, don't get stir happy, because you're gonna find cauliflower rice under your stove. Because it pops everywhere. And when I say pop, that means when you stir it, it just pops out the pot. somewhere. Now, I don't know where, but somewhere. Now, remember I told you this was gonna require about a cup of, stir it slow, get it incorporated, because we're gonna put our seasonings and a couple other things in here shortly. So, get it all incorporated. I would say the best way to do this is fold it. You know, what that means is you start from under the ingredients and fold the ingredients from the bottom into and incorporate it into what you just did. Look how pretty that is. Okay? All right, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna flatten it out. And you're gonna see why I'm doing this here shortly. Flatten it out. You're gonna take the remainder of that sesame, or I'm just doing it here, I'm gonna eyeball it because I know what I'm doing. Gonna eyeball it and put in the rest of the oil, okay? What we're gonna do is put in the rest of our seasonings, okay? So we got the low sodium seasoning salt that I'm putting in here, and it's Lawry's. Y'all know what Lawry's is. We're gonna put in the garlic powder and season to taste. If there's certain things you don't like, same thing, cooking is about you. We're gonna do the Tony Chachere's salt-free seasoning. Back up, because that stuff makes me sneeze. And black pepper. And we're gonna put in 1/4 cup of garlic. If you don't like garlic, don't do it. But I love garlic. Garlic is good for the heart, it's good for the body. It brings in a lot of flavor. I'm doing it pre-minced like we talked about earlier. Do stuff that's already kind of put together, save yourself some time. And cook this up. Let's get it all incorporated. Now, let me show y'all a little trick that makes this even better and kind of confuses you that this is cauliflower, because plus it's good for the metabolism. So, part of Southern cooking is you can also throw in a dash of cayenne pepper. Don't put a lot. This will burn your face off. But cayenne pepper is good heat. It's good for metabolism. Adds a lot of taste. All right, get this going. Let's get this incorporated. And as you can see, as I continue to cook this sesame oil, and I'll tell you, there's a reason, I've done this recipe a couple of times. There's a reason you want to do sesame oil. It's better on the taste. It tastes more like fried rice. That's what they use at most Asian restaurants, from what I understand. Sesame oil when they cook normal fried rice. And yeah, makes a difference. So I would say go ahead and get this all incorporated and leave it at medium high. I've not changed the temperature, and just kind of let it go. Let's see here. We're gonna get this incorporated. We're gonna let this cook. Now you're gonna need to cook this until it starts browning on you for about, I'd say 5 or 6 minutes. So we're gonna do that, come back here shortly so to see how to finish it up. This is all incorporated. It's cooked down. We got a good consistency on the look of like fried rice. It's not there yet. A couple things we need to do. So I'm gonna show y'all a couple of tricks here. So what we need to do is right now, this is how this works. You're gonna love this. You wanna take your rice in your wok or whatever pot you're using. You wanna push it to the side and let some of that oil cook down in the bottom. Okay? Y'all see that? Watch what I'm gonna do here. You wanna take your egg, which are the 3 eggs that we beat up, and I'm gonna flip that right down into there. Okay? Watch how we work this out. What you need to do is take some of your seasonings. Okay? Garlic powder. I'll drop that in that egg. We need to quickly scramble that egg up. Okay? The reason we're doing this, let it cook. Basically, you're going to be making a little omelet on the side here. See that? See how it's starting to thicken up? Okay, continue beating it, because you're basically like you're scrambling 3 eggs right now. But you're also scrambling 3 eggs within the rice. So keep that rice pushed to the side, okay? It's cooking up right now. Scrape from the sides so you kind of get the cooked egg off the side and it cooks into the other egg. Because you want to get this kind of scrambled up and cooked before you reincorporate it. See that? It's cooking up. Oh Lord. We're gonna have to get that cleaned up. That's post-cook. Okay? Keep scrambling. It's gonna be a quick process here because once we get this cooked, the recipe goes pretty quick. Brussels sprouts look like they have about 2 minutes left on them. Look at that. Cooking up. Gonna be a little dirty. Don't pay attention to that because you're gonna incorporate it. Because what we're gonna do is, it's cooking. See how it's coming together? That's what you want. You want it to kind of scramble up. Scrape from the side and get it all cooked because you don't want it to not cook. It's gonna cook anyway because the rice is hot, but get it cooked. So now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take that 1/4 cup, and I'm eyeballing it so y'all don't pay attention to me. And we're gonna pour that quarter cup of soy sauce. I'm doing low sodium soy sauce into the rice. Okay? And you're gonna pour the rest of it into the eggs. And now is where the quick process comes. Incorporate it. Fold it in just like we folded the rice earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Cauliflower rice with air-fried roasted Brussels sprouts. Now I'm going to show you guys how to plate this because there's 2 reasons that this is important. One, when the food looks good, people eat it. It's going to be good regardless. I'm telling y'all, this is the bomb. However, good looking food makes people want it more. So, not that you need to be a professional, and if you're just eating at home by yourself, even make yourself feel good, do it, makes a big difference. What I like to do is just basically take a 1 cup, basically measuring cup, load the rice into there. I want to go ahead and get it completely full and level it off, just like that. Pat it down. Take your plate, put your plate on there, flip it over, and just slowly rise it off. Rice is just going to make a nice little container like that. And what you want to do is take your Brussels. These look amazing. They look nice and crispy. Get them put on the plate. Put them together in a nice little section, just like this. I'd say probably do 1 cup, okay? What you want to do is get this kind of tightened up. And I like to use kind of like a sweet chili sauce for the Brussels. You know, Panda makes a really good one. If you want something with a little less sugar, I would suggest it, but you made a nice, good recipe here. So from a standpoint of having something with a little extra flavor, it's good to kind of drizzle that on there. Okay, that on there. It's a little extra punch. And then what you want to do is, let me get over here and hop in the refrigerator. You can take some of these extra green onions that you cut up and just put them on top of the rice. And after all that, probably 25 minutes, you've got cauliflower rice, healthy, with roasted Brussels sprouts that have been basically fried Brussels sprouts that have been air fried. You can't beat that. I'm gonna lean down here. Folks, other thing you always need to remember is taste it. So here's my pro tip. If you at somebody's house and they cooking you dinner and they don't taste their food, their own food, get your bag, get your clutch, and kindly tiptoe out. That's a warning shot. That means it's nasty. Not really, I'm just kidding y'all. It might be though. Let's taste this. This is hot. They're good. Look at these Brussels. You hear that crunch? with that chili sauce. It's good. Y'all still here? I'm gonna cut y'all off so I can eat my food, because this is the bomb. But I'm gonna have a few more of these series. I would say subscribe. The next one I'm gonna do is, I guess I need to stop eating. Next one I'm gonna do is basically a healthy pasta using chickpea pasta, vegan meatballs, and kind of incorporate some of the flavors into that. As you know, for our restaurant, we had the turkey meatballs, so I'm gonna show you a way to do that. And then probably some of the recipes that we did with Ophelia's, and when we get back to meat, which will be at the end of the month. But until then, we're just gonna get the vegetable recipes and get it done for you. So thank y'all for watching. I hope this helps you make something that your family loves, enjoys. You know that they're gonna be healthy. You can trick the kids with the cauliflower rice, they'll never know. If you wanna throw some meat in there, some chicken, turkey, some ground up sausage, whatever is for you, there's a way to do it and make it better. So make the food uniquely you, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.